people in their late 80s, a lot of them, if they're involved in a certain secret society, you want to call it fraternity,
Yeah.
their children, that is our parents, may not be involved, but they tend to sacrifice their grandchildren. Or if they've put something on the child, it transfers to the grandkids. That's why you hear generational curse. There's no generational curse. There's no, it's just, there's definitely sacrificing that trickles down. There's no generational curse. I say there's no generational curse because everybody brought their own head into the world. There's something that you were designed in this dispensation to come and do.
That's right.
Who is that person? Who is that person, I say, that would decide that because I wasted 40 years of my life, which of these children is coming? Okay, that's literally what they do. It's like they sit in a shop online picking what the one they wanted. This is how they get down. They're not doing analog anymore. It's all digital now. Real talk. They sit down and say, "Hey, don't boy." You even if you look at it, it's not like one shaker. They're not even trying to be wicked. They know their own don't spoil. You want to budget. As far as they are concerned, they are condemned, they are old, they are but it's true. Because
Right.
what would compel any sane person to do this to any energy? Your bloodline, your descendant. If you don't have something that you're tied to that has basically, if you yourself haven't sacrificed yourself. So what I'm saying is sometimes grandparents do this and it leaves the parents no choice but to sort of play along, or they may not even know. So if you have a parent that's prayerful, a parent that's pure of heart, they may discover and fight for the child. So there's different things.
Because the way I've seen it is, if your foundation is defective right from the start, and
Mm-hmm.
if you've been, say you've been tampered with spiritually, your universal data said your energy has been unscrupulously affected, right from when you appeared into this world. And they've basically, because what they do is they create an artificial pathway for you. They create distractions in your life. They create a fake pathway for you, which takes you completely away from where the universe would like you to go, right? And meaning, at the end of that artificial pathway is destruction. It's a wastage of time, your youth, your energy. You would never reach fulfillment. A lot of ups and downs and all that.
A lot of times I've noted that if the grandparents are in some sort of order, and I won't name the I won't call it secret, the fraternities, I won't name any, but if they're in
Ah,
some
don't
sort
name
of
them. Don't
order,
name them. Don't
yeah,
name them.
so if they're in some sort of order, they tend to, it trickles down onto the grandchildren.
Yes.
That's another way it can be perpetrated in one's life. But
Hmm.
the other thing is the powerful part that the feminine divine plays in this is that, again, like I said earlier, Ogun Emini Moni Komi, I brought you in this world and I will take you out. I'm your
Hmm.
mother. If you suckled this breast, I carried you on my back and I birthed you. Eminimo dejele elori, meaning I shed blood to push you out into the world. Basically, using adabi. Adabi is using conditions, spiritual conditions.
That's right.
That is not a curse. But adabi and ekpe is to curse. It's a curse. Adabi is a spiritual condition. It actually is more powerful than a curse.
Hmm.
So normally I do it. I do it. If someone hurts me really bad, because I know that I don't have the grace to curse, because I do have a lot of authority. I'm gifted. So I cannot curse. It will affect me. I can't. If I curse someone because I'm angry, I'm the one that will pay for it. So the issue here is a lot of, not a lot, the feminine divine. I want to say we were coached because it's what I saw my mom doing growing up. But because of the suffering I went through, I don't do it to my children. I don't.
Hmm.
And we're told a lot. The people I've had as spiritual guides and mentors hammer it that you are a mother. This is what you have to do. When your child upsets you,
Hmm.
lock into your pure feminine divine. The feminine divine has two sides. Every woman has this.
Hmm.
Yes, I'm saying it. Every woman has this. Every woman. If a woman is in labor, Ha! And you piss her off while she's in labor. Whatever she says, kò sí ìyálà yẹn anybody tó lè wẹ orí fẹ́ nìyẹn. I'm sorry, kò sí o.
Hmm.
Babaláwo á sọ fún yín. Wòlíì worth their salt á sọ fún yín. Imam will tell you the same. That is a prophet or babalawo or an Ifa priest or an imam will tell you. Every woman has the ability to be a curse upon humanity or sweetness and blessing. For sure.
Hmm.
As much as I hate using this U word, unfortunately, in the African community, let's bring it back to Nigeria because I have to speak of what I know.
Hmm.
The feminine divine is they love cursing. We like doing that. It's too much. It's our thing. And it's not, I won't say it's not everybody's fault, but the cycle has to be broken. A small thing will happen. We just say. So you can imagine a person who is just irritable and talks like that. Now imagine a desperate woman who was sticking her nose in places where she shouldn't go and has found herself in a coven somewhere and she's been asked to put down her children. Just imagine that. So the part that the feminine divine has to play in a energy's existence, I can't tell you. I cannot tell you because of my experience and being a mom now. You can't even be. There's no cap on how powerful or how impactful a mother can be over a partner that she has the child with and over the child.
Yeah.
They're the ones that abuse this thing. They love. I'm telling you right now. They even say it playfully. It's almost like it's become like a joke in the spiritual community. How go me money come alone, Jenny? It is my property affliction that is doing you. It's so playfully said. They'll just tell you because it's so common.
Hmm.
Enjoy by me ò lè gbé nǹkan rere ṣe. I can't seem to get headway. I work hard. I do this. I invest. I can't keep a man. I can't. That my dear is there's somebody sitting on a stool monitoring you. Really? Yes, it's your mom. Hmm? And people
Hmm.
can't handle that. Great percentage of people they can't handle that. My mom, and the worst one, frankly, you said something earlier. There are moms who will come out, or I won't say mom, people who will come out and say, if you don't do this, I will make sure that this will happen. You have those notorious ones that their brain, they've lost all sense of sanity. You have the ones who are just like they're the Mike Tysons of this behavior. They'll just come out and be like, I will make sure that as you go, you come back. And then those ones, because when you know what's doing you, then you can get a solution for it. But the deadly ones, oh my goodness, the
They wouldn't.
pretenders.
They wouldn't say it to you. They go behind
Yeah,
your back.
no, but check, no, check. Frankly, that one is one thing. The covert narcissist, the
Hmm.
one who adores you. So when the truth comes out at a spiritual reading, when they tell you that this is the person afflicting you, you'll be like, never. Oh, my mother is wonderful. She did
Hmm.
this. Those are slow poison because they're loving you up. They haven't cast you away. You weren't wearing rags in the house. Those that is common too. As a result, even in the face of a solution, the person will wade in the water of suffering because Elton Shewon, the bug is slowly just it's like the African shrew. The African shrew that nibbles on the toes and blows softly as it's biting the toes, and it's literally causing a sickness and disease and poison. But the person will sleep through that attack because as it's biting and nibbling, it's blowing some wind, soothing it
Hmm.
at the same time. Deadly. The mother that adores the child on the outside. Meanwhile, ó ti parí iṣẹ́, ó ti fi dá, I mean, yeah, ti fi dájọ́. The child is just existing. That's another one. So when you hear people say, I can't be new, Egbon, it is not because they want to be belligerent or they want to be a doofus or they just don't want to get it. what is Oguton Jawon is they have to be, they literally have to be clairvoyant to see it. And it takes decades. My mom, who's still with us, she turned into that Mike Tyson type of person who just was telling me, if you don't do this, I will make sure this happens. So I knew she didn't hide. So I knew what time it was. Now, there's nothing I could do about that. She's my co-creator. I have to honor her, not by giving her money and calling her anything, by leaving her alone. You can't fight your mom. No, you can't face that one head on. Even if you go to an imam or babalao, there are steps that have to be taken, depending on what kind of space that female energy is operating in. If she's the head of a coven or just a very formidable energy, she doesn't have to be in a coven to be formidable. Some people just come, they descend with certain energy strength. You can't take on your mom. You're an extension of her. So that's why it takes time. Being able to completely move away and keep your distance is a first step. And then you have to psychologically heal. I had to go through a lot of therapy because it did so much damage to me.
No, but let me
And
tell
I
you
had,
something. Let me tell you something. Let me interrupt.
mm,
I like what you said, the way you've unpacked it about, oh, you can't fight your parents and all that. You can't fight them, but you can fight them spiritually. What do I mean? You can actually fight them if there are grounds for it. So let me unpack it. You see, and I connect this to Ifa. Now, let's say, for example, somebody goes through divination or Daifa, yeah? And then it comes out that your mother is in the way. Like all the things we've been talking about already. They've done something unscrupulous and she's unfairly latching onto your life and she's been vindictive. She's done something. Now, this is evidently stalling or stifling your progress and forward movement. Now, if I is if I let it be, if I is absolutely powerful, you would realize that a seasoned babalawo or a custodian of the secrets of the universe will immediately they would they will some of the immediate remedies they'll talk about appeasement, money be or something like that, or eboriru and all that. Now, if more than likely that woman is, belongs to the skies or whatever. That's why in the first instance, if I doesn't go guns blazing, there are order of things. So when they do the appeasement is simply, hey, take this. I see you. I acknowledge your presence right there. But you need to get your claws off this guy's jugular. Take this. Okay? Take these, and I'm talking about this appeasement spiritually. Okay?
mhm,
Take this, let go.
mhm,
Now,
mm.
so, but because they wouldn't let go, nine out of
Yeah,
10
they
times,
usually don't. They usually
they
don't.
usually don't. So that's where things, when you switch up the gears, okay, now that's
Mhm,
where you now tell the difference between a genuine Ifa priest or Babalawo and the ones who are pure charlatans, or they see the problem, they would tell you about the problem, but they wouldn't dip their hands. Because, like I
mm,
said in the previous live stream, if your priest, yeah, belongs in fraternities that work in cahoots with whatever fraternity these mothers belong in, once they see their, let me say, spiritual blueprint, there are claws into that situation. They identify it, but they dare not touch because they all work together, right? Now, if there's an Ifa priest that doesn't belong, a well-seasoned Babalawo that doesn't belong in those fraternities. That's why, and I'm saying this for those of you who are out there who want to benefit from Isheshe and all that. This is actually one of the ways that all these very dodgy Babalawos, how they take advantage of the unsuspecting members of the public. They will identify through divination that XYZ is the problem. Oh, your mother or this, like we're saying, is involved. But because the moment they see that spiritual blueprint, they wouldn't, thank you, Akutobi, they wouldn't go before issue. In fact, some of them might say to you, we'll go before issue. All of that is just acrobatics. It's just
mm,
performance. They wouldn't do the actual thing because
mm,
a well-seasoned Babalawo, yeah, when they do the appeasement, they give it time to marinate and settle things to
mm.
take order and shape spiritually, hoping that once they get the signal, that person will let go. But you and I know they won't let go, right?
They want one Jawa. They don't let
So
go.
the next thing is the Babalawo would take that matter before
Mm.
Ishulalu. In fact, and I'm telling you from personal journeys through Ifa,
Experience.
there are
Yeah.
people in these hierarchies. If they see that a
Mm,
certain person have their claws, there are I don't want to go into details. Àwọn iṣẹ́ kan wà
mm,
nídìí Ifá, ìmíì máa gba àdá lọ. It's
mm,
a spiritual representation. So
mhm.
it's no longer diplomacy, having a tete-a-tete talk, trying to be nice now.
No hold barred. Yeah, no hold barred.
There is some A22. There's some
Mm,
appeasement that's aimed at the particular individual. So if that's your mother, that's where
mm,
I'm going. Oh my
mhm,
God, dalori kuma pada ni follow my pa. Because at
mm,
the point when the war is going on, Ifa is between you and your mother now. So
mhm.
if she wants to fight and go on with the clause, that's okay. That's why I'm saying because the usefulness of a genuine Ifa priest is they are the
Mm.
medium between you and the universe, right? They are the ones to help you usher in your remedies. In Koton or Koi Share Wufunia. But when they become dodgy charlatans, they will bend the process. Wọ́n máa ti rọ́wọ́ àwọn ará bímbẹ̀ wọ́n máa yọwọ́ ni. Tó o bá lọ
I-
síwájú láàlú ògiri òkò, I'm telling you now, kò sẹ́dá àlàyé tí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń gbanú ara ẹ̀. I don't care the hierarchy tó wà in the ranks.
It's
Tí ọwọ́ bá
interesting you
bá
say
in the
this.
realms, a máa já ìyẹ́ ẹ̀ dànù ni. My own Ifa
It,
name is Ẹyinjú Ifá, Ifá dá mi lójú gan. Kò sí ẹlẹ́yẹ
yeah,
yẹn, ó máa já ọwọ́ ẹ̀ dànù. But the
the
where you
apple of Ifa's eyes.
gbà, where the problem where the problem lies is a lot of people have truckload of similar problems, but
Mm.
these babalawos, these priests who are in between, a bulk of them because they belong in frats.
A lot of times, another way of the feminine divine, especially the male, the fathers can do the same, masculine divine can do the same, but the feminine divine, when they're in a society or coven, the way they sacrifice the child could be that when they finish their life in this dispensation, a specific child must take over, and if their coven has decided, it is this glorious one we want, and
Mhm,
then because the child's head is Oriele, is doing things in the way of light and not wanting to walk in darkness. Koma chibi, koma payo, koma,
mhm,
koma. So mama tako iniajo, they would that will cause problems because you're not what the mother has put you down for, what she gambled the person's destiny for, the person's not doing it. So that too, what usually happens is they put a mark on that child. So when the child is now looking for solutions to highlight what Franconera is saying, if you find yourself in front of said wolis, if you find yourself in front of insidious imams or alfas or wolis or ifa priests, they will see the mark and say, Aaron, this is the meat and property of Lagbaja. Let me just be forming that I can do this work. I know if you do amo. I needed to say that.
But this is what I want to say very quickly. Know this and know peace. Look, if you tamper with maybe someone else's child is living with you, or you've unscrupulously tampered with your sibling, or you are a parent that use your child's glory for your own financial upliftment or financial springboard in life and all that stuff, and you are enjoying um, you believe you are climbing high, you're enjoying social climb, there is monetary upliftment for you, and you think, why should I bother? Or in fact, you've tampered with multiple people. You're a man, and some of the women you've slept with, you've seen them that they are like ajeolokun and all that. You've used them, you've wrapped something around your genitalia to unscrupulously make love to them so that you can use them spiritually and all that stuff, right? It gets darker and darker. The point here is, know this: whilst you will temporarily get away with the flourishing and enjoying the proceeds of your crime, spiritual crime as I love to call it, the payback, the repercussion, the
Mm.
payback is devastating. If you are a parent and you use other people's glory and universal data set, Oriolori or Gologo, to prop up your own children, what
Oh
you've
yes.
effectively
Oh
done
yes.
is you've set your children up for at some point for total destruction.
Yeah. So
They
your
will-
descendants. Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
a tsunami of repercussion that's
Absolutely.
waiting for them in the future.
Absolutely.
Oh, Lemuje. You can get away with it for the
Absolutely.
next 5, 10 years. You're flossing in that dark energy and that dirty money that you've made from the use of those energies. But there is a tsunami of repercussion that's waiting. And
There is payment.
when
There's
that
payment.
time comes, jala jala lo magbenye,
I agree.
you will escape it. That's
Intatirini.
that's all
Absolutely.
I'm trying to say. It's worth giving a thought to, man. So on that note, stay fortified if you're interested in um divination and all that. I'm not a babalawo, I'm a proud practitioner of Ifa, but I have a very, very reliable Ifa priest and stuff that I link. Take your whatever to. Send me an email to channel1960@gmail.com if that's your cup of tea. If it's not, go and live your best life. Okay, I'm already helping a lot of people in the background. All right.